Hey folks, this is Gabe at Security Brand, and today we've got quite the collabo with the ADT Samsung SmartThings Home Security Starter Kit. In today's review of the ADT Samsung SmartThings Home Security Starter Kit, we're going to talk about what you get in the package, how easy it is to set up, what are the professional monitoring options, what customer support is like when you try to give them a call, and finally dive into the mobile application so you have all the information you need to make the right decision. If you'd like to see a list of our favorite home security systems, Google Security Brand Best Home Security Systems. If you have a question about today's review, leave us a comment and I'll get back to you. Looking at the ADT Samsung SmartThings Home Security Starter Kit, what you see is basically what you get. You have your ADT Security Hub, which will connect with your ADT door and window detectors. These will allow you to know if someone has opened or closed a door or a window. And finally, you'll attach, or rather connect, your ADT motion detector. So they're just 4 pieces, but with these 4 pieces, you'll know if people are coming in and out of your home and if people are moving around inside with that motion detector that of course is armed with your ADT Security Hub. Now that we've gone over all the components that come with the ADT Home Security Starter Kit, let's talk about the installation process. So you're gonna wanna begin with that ADT Security Hub, take it out of the box, plug it in, sync it with your Wi-Fi, and then let it go through the firmware updates. It takes a few minutes, and then eventually you'll get an activation code on the screen. Now this is where things can get a little dicey, if you will. You're gonna wanna take your mobile device and download the Samsung SmartThings Classic app. So just to give you an idea of what happened to us, we downloaded the Samsung SmartThings Modern app, which is actually what they tell you to do. And then we get through the entire process or set everything up and then realize we can't actually control the components in the mobile app. So if you want to arm and disarm your system, the ADT system that is, you cannot do that in the Modern app. At least we couldn't figure it out. With the Classic app, you can. So you're going to want to download the Samsung SmartThings Classic app. And that is really important if you want to be able to arm and disarm right from your mobile device. Now from there, you set it up, they will sync together from the activation code on this screen that you put into your phone, and then you're gonna want to do each of the individual devices. Now here is the second part where you could run into some issues. I mean, you have to actually scan the QR code here, and with that scan, it'll start saying registering device. And that's when you're gonna wanna pull the battery tab. Now, usually you think, okay, scan device, it registers device, and then we pull and then scan. This is scan, wait for it to start spinning in terms of registering device, then pull the tab, and the tab is actually a little tough. It's not the easiest tab to pull out, and then you're ready to go. Once you understand that process, setting up the remaining components takes mere minutes. You can take your door detector, put it up in the door frame, your window detector, place it up in the window frame, put your motion detector wherever you'd like on the wall or in a corner, and you're set up. I mean, that's honestly the easiest part of the setup process. Overall, I can't really say it was that convenient of a process because there's really no clarity from ADT or Samsung on what the capabilities and distinctions are between Samsung SmartThings Modern app and Samsung SmartThings Classic app. Now that we've covered the installation process, let's see what the professional monitoring options are. Now, professional monitoring is a team of professionals protecting you and your home 24/7, 365 days out of the year. Now, with ADT, you can get the home security package, which is $24.99, and that includes everything for intrusion detection or just things going wrong with like alerts or things like that. Now, if you would like to add environmental elements to that, like CO2 or smoke sensors or flood sensors, you can get the Total Security Bundle, which is $34.99 a month. Fortunately, with ADT Home Security Starter Kit, you do not have to sign any type of long-term contract. It's basically month to month, and at any point you can just cancel. On top of that, if you decide to move, it's just move your system and have everything set up in your new home, and you can start again. But I do want to note that you don't need to have any of these professional monitoring options with the ADT Home Security Starter Kit. You actually can just self-monitor using this system and the components that come with it. All right, let's talk about the customer support for the ADT Home Security Starter Kit. Now, you can go to their online help center, you can write them an email, or you can actually give them a call Monday through Saturday, 9 through 6, Pacific Standard Time. So that's something good to know about this particular system. Now, one thing I want to note about this system is that I did have issues and I had to make a phone call, and I had a very positive customer service experience. I had to set up this entire system again. I had to reset it, I had to reconfigure it, I had to make sure everything was working, each individual component. And the gentleman that helped me on the phone was really helpful. He knew the ins and outs of the system, what was going wrong, and he was on the phone with me for at least an hour, making sure that I did every single part right. But this is countered by a lot of the information out there on the internet. For example, in Amazon, it has a 2.8 out of 5-star rating. And of the 9 reviews that mention customer support, 8 of those are negative, with those customers saying the customer service representative wasn't particularly knowledgeable and ultimately just wanted them to return the system, which is not necessarily the most helpful thing if you want your security now. So overall, it seems that there's a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the ADT Home Security Starter Kit's customer support. Hold on, wait. I hope you're enjoying today's review of the ADT Home Security Starter Kit. If you'd like to be kept up to date on the newest in smart home security systems, VPNs, password managers, and a host of other smart security technology, subscribe to our channel. We're updating with new content weekly. All right, let's get back to the video. Let's jump into the mobile application for the ADT Home Security Starter Kit. Now, despite what Samsung tells you, they're gonna say the new app is the bomb. All the cool kids are working with the new app. You might wanna go with that Samsung Classic app. And by might, I mean you definitely should, because it's only the Samsung Classic app that allows you to arm and disarm your system and monitor what's going on in the way that we've become accustomed to with the home security system. The Samsung SmartThings Modern app does not allow for all of those integrations. Now, one thing we'll note is that it actually is doing pretty well now in both app stores. In the Google Play Store, it has a 3.4 out of 5-star rating, and in the Apple App Store, it has a 4.5 out of 5-star rating. And this has basically been a huge jump in the past few months in how people feel about that SmartThings app. So let's go ahead and check it out on my iPhone 10. Here I am checking out the dashboard of the Samsung SmartThings Classic app for your ADT Home Security Starter Kit. Now it's pretty straightforward. At the top you have home security, and then you can make your favorites below that. Now if I want to arm it to stay, I can tap right there on the first page.
Arming stay.
Now you hear that it's armed to stay. So this will make sure that if any doors or windows are open, you're alerted, but will not have the motion detector go off. So let's go ahead and disarm that.
System disarmed. Ready to arm.
And let's see arm away, which will turn on the motion detector.
Arming away. Exit now.
Now I want to go ahead and turn this off so that it doesn't begin to alert and alarm rather, and use its siren before I get done going through this process.
Ready to arm.
Now if you look in My Home, you'll see that you can add a host of things. We already have our door and window sensors, our motion sensors, all attached, but you could add more just using the QR codes for new devices. So you could add more door sensors, more motion sensors, more anything. Now you can add various routines like turn everything on, for example, and then you would just turn on anything that you needed to right here in the app, depending on what you tell it. So you can essentially use this to change the mode to away, home, or night, which gives you different options. Of course, they have the marketplace, so you can buy more things that will integrate with your system, like light bulbs or locks or outlets or thermostats. Because remember, you can, of course, incorporate environmental elements into the ADT SmartThings ecosystem, which is pretty cool. But overall, it's a pretty straightforward application, and you'll just see that there are a host of things you can do right here in the app. We've actually integrated this app with Amazon Alexa, so you can see that all the elements that go with the ADT Samsung SmartThings and its capacity to integrate with various voice assistants. So that's me checking out the Samsung SmartThings Classic mobile application. So here we are taking a look at the panel provided by ADT and Samsung SmartThings. So it's pretty straightforward. You can see basically most of the functionality right on that home page. Of course, I love having the weather here because I don't want to take out my phone all the time. It's nice to just walk out the house and see exactly what it's going to be like. And if I wanted to go ahead and arm my system because I am walking away, I would just hit arm away.
Arming away. Exit now.
Now I could also make this silent. So now I'm not hearing anything when that exit happens. But I don't actually want to exit right now, so let's hit disarm. And of course, for the purposes of this video, I set my alarm pin code at 1111. And now we're done. Now, if I wanted to set it up where I'm home, but still armed, so make sure that no intruders can come in, but doesn't react when it sees me moving inside, I would hit arm stay.
Arming stay.
So once again, you can hear it's going through this process. I can make it silent. Now it's a silent exit. And let's go ahead and just disarm it. 1, 1, 1, 1. What? All right, there we go. Now in the bottom right-hand corner, you've got info, like system info. You can see here. You can go out of here. Let's look at the history. Master user, go back. Let's look at the settings. Now to access your settings, of course, you have to put in your PIN code. In here, you just get your user, sounds, bypass sensor screen, walk test, wireless. So it's pretty straightforward. It's definitely similar to systems that we've seen. And that's it. That is your ADT Security Hub with Samsung SmartThings. Let's get to the bottom line of the ADT Home Security Starter Kit. Now, the bottom line is if you want the option to self-monitor, flexible monthly contracting, and a solid mobile application, then ADT has the right stuff for you. That move with working with Samsung SmartThings makes for a pretty fun experience. But, and this is a big but, if you're someone looking for a foolproof installation process, you may want to look somewhere else because there are a host of potential pitfalls when setting up this system that can be, frankly, quite frustrating. However, if you can get over the other side of that and have the system up and working, it's definitely a solid choice for you and your family. So that concludes today's review of the ADT Samsung SmartThings Home Security Starter Kit. If you appreciated today's video, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Gabe with Security Baron. Be secure.